Hey everybody, so it's about a minute after. We're going to go ahead and get started with the meeting. We'll probably have a couple more people join us as we get going too, but I want to make sure that we're respectful of everybody's time. So we'll go ahead and move forward. So thank you everybody for coming. This is the recertification workshop for 2021. So anybody that's been through recertification before is probably aware. Prior to 2020, we did this in person. We'd bring everybody together and kind of just do an overview of the program and give updates. Last year, because of the pandemic, we did this virtually. And so it worked out really well. We decided we'd continue that again for this year. And then next year, we'll review how everything went and decide if we want to go back to in person. Just want to give you a couple details as we get started, just about the webinar in general. First one, everybody is on mute right now. Please keep yourself muted. If you're on the web application, there's a little red microphone that'll toggle it on and off. If you're on the phone, I believe there is a key number that you enter in, and it'll tell you, it would have told you when you called in what that is. And also video, if anybody has video, you're more than welcome to turn it on, but you don't have to. That's totally up to you. You can leave it off. There's nothing wrong with that. And again, that has a little camera that toggles it on and off. And if you don't want to take notes, that's totally fine. You don't need to. I will send everything out after the meeting is done. That includes all the slides, and also there will be a recording of this as well. It's recording right now, so if you miss anything, don't worry, you'll always have the opportunity to go back and listen to it again. Just move on to the next one here. All right, so before we get started, I just wanted to show everybody the agenda so you have an idea of what's going to happen today. We'll be out of here within an hour. We're going to go through the recertification requirements first. I just want to walk through exactly what is on there this year and what has changed from previous years. And then we have Rose Melton, who is the chair of the Green Certification Board, who's going to give an overview of what the board is, how it got started, and who serves on it. And then finally, we will do an update on the 2021 UPCYCLE Challenge. So, and just a reminder for everybody, if you're on, just make sure that you're in mute. So again, just hit that microphone so we don't get any feedback for any of the other. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to jump right into the recertification requirements for 2021. So, and once again, anybody, if you just double check that you're on mute. I think we got everybody now. Okay. So just to go through the recertification reminders, recertification for the Green Certification Program is every 2 years. So that means this group that's here right now will have recertified back in 2019. Last year we had a different class go through that recertified in 2020. And you won't need to recertify again until 2022. So if you did any of the recertification requirements last year, you don't need to do them this year. You're more than welcome to sit through all the webinars, but just know that you don't have to submit anything this year unless you would like to. I do have some organizations that are tracking goals that want to send those each year and set new goals or want to do a check-in. That is fantastic. Please feel free to send those to me. I'm more than happy to keep those and track them so that that's one less thing that you have to do next year. Also, all of the materials that you're going to see today that have a due date, it is all August 1st. So everything needs to be to me by August 1st. And the reason for that is so that we can have everything ready for the Green Certification Banquet that takes place in September. So please be mindful of that date. You're more than welcome to send it early, but just make sure it gets to me by the 1st of August. Also, everyone will be honored at the banquet. I know last year we had to do it a little bit differently. We are going to do the virtual banquet again this year. So it'll probably be the same. I will put everybody together on a slide and we will run through them and I will read everybody off. That is different than we've done in previous years when we've been able to be in person, but the banquet ran very well last year and we were able to stay socially distanced and watch from our offices. So we'll be doing that again this year. And then also, if you have any questions as you're going through this, A lot of times I'll get questions on goal setting. If you're struggling with setting goals and you'd like to talk to somebody else that maybe works for another organization involved in the program, let me know, because we have mentors throughout the program that are more than willing to help you and give you some insight on what they've done and what's worked for them. So please reach out if you're interested in getting connected with a mentor. Okay, hang on, let's see if the slide will change. There we go. Okay, so changes from 2019, which is the last time you went through this process. So these are some of the key ones that have changed. Everybody probably remembers signing a recommitment letter. That was a Word file that I would send to you. You would print it off and management would sign it. In evaluating the recertification requirements, I really started looking at that and said, you know, it's really not very sustainable to have everybody printing off a piece of paper just to have it signed and scan it back to me. So we are not going to do that. And I'll actually tell you exactly what I need, but just so you know, we don't need to print anything off and have it signed just to scan it back in and make it electronic again. We're going to do away with that. Also, everything is going to be virtual this year. That includes this workshop that you're doing right now, but it also includes our on-site visits. So I'll get into that a little bit more too. And then the best small and large annual awards. In the past, this was something that the Green Certification Board would just discuss, and we would determine who the best overall and small were. However, now that we have the point spreadsheet and the level program, we actually are using that point spreadsheet to determine the best overall small and large. So just a heads up on that. That has changed now that we have that in place. Okay, so what are the requirements for this year? So these are the things that absolutely must happen and then one optional. So we do need a recommitment statement, and I'll talk about that. I'm actually going to talk about all these in depth. So the ongoing education, the environmental plan, the webinar series, which yay, you're doing it right now, and then the site visit. And then obviously that last one is optional, but it would be great if you turned it in just because it gives the program an idea of where everybody's at. So this is the recommitment statement. If you look on the left, this is what it used to look like. I sent it to everybody. Everybody printed off the same one. You had the option to change it if you'd like, although I don't think anybody ever did. So it was really just a sign this and send it back. This year, we're going to do away with that. If you'd still like to use this one and use some of the verbiage in it, please go ahead. That's totally fine. But what I'd really like back instead is a short statement that basically says why your organization continues to be involved in the program. This doesn't need to be long, just a few sentences that talk about why it's important to you, or about how the program has helped your organization. So essentially, this is just a statement of why you stay involved and why it's been beneficial. If you want to still use the recommitment wording, that's totally fine too. But if you can make it a little more individualized, that would be great, because the more you can put into it, the more I can add to your file. And also it helps the program too, because these are things that I can show new businesses that are coming in to show the benefits. So this is one, ongoing education. I get a lot of questions on exactly what this is, and really it kind of depends on what it means to your organization. This requirement is just to show that you are sharing your environmental goals and your environmental practices with your employees. And each organization does that a little bit differently. So I know a lot of our industrial organizations, they do this through, they'll talk about environmental during their safety meetings. They also have it in their employee handbook. And then for some of our smaller businesses, they might do it just through posters that they have throughout the office, or they send emails out with reminders, even newsletters. So on the left, there's a couple different ideas, posters. The one from North Central Institute, NCI, theirs is just a write-up, and that's totally fine too. If you just want to send me an email and say, hey, this is what we do for employee education, that's great. However you want to send it to me, I will accept it. If you're doing meetings, if you have meeting minutes, you can send me snippets of the minutes. If you don't want to send me the whole thing, that's totally fine. Or you can send me an attendance and say, this is the topics that were discussed. That works too. So if you have any questions, let me know. But pretty much anything that you have that says we're doing employee education will work. I just want to see that this is something that comes up with your discussions with your employees. Okay, updating environmental plan. Everybody has an environmental plan, but they probably all look a little bit different. We have a template that we use for the program, but everybody has the option to use whatever template they'd like. So they might be a bit different. As part of that environmental plan, the absolute basis of it is that you have goals that you're continuing to work towards. So that's what actually needs to be updated as part of your recertification. So you can see there's two different examples. The first one is a very elaborate environmental plan that is fantastic. Went through and they actually have planned out each of their goals and set it. That's fantastic. If that works for their organization, that's great. But then there's a very simplified one below it that also is great to have. So really, it's just however the goals work for you, however you want to write them down, however you want to track them, that works for me. I just need to see that you have goals. And it can be for any period of time. So if you want to take it for the full 2 years of your recertification, that's no problem. And even if it's a long-term goal, that's fine too. Just something so that when we recertify in 2 years, we can say, hey, how is your progress going towards this goal? And don't worry, you're not held to that goal, because we've had many organizations that are like, hey, we started to go down that road and it didn't work out. So we actually switched and did this instead. Totally fine. You are not held into these goals in any way. It's just to show that you're continuing commitment and you're continuing to move forward with sustainability. The webinar series, yay, you're here. Congratulations, everybody. This is the requirement, and there are 3 webinars. Each of the webinars are different, so you do need to watch all 3 of them. I will keep all 3 to under an hour, so you won't have to spend more than 3 hours total. And if you can't be with us on Tuesday mornings at 8 o'clock, which I totally understand is a difficult time to get here, that's fine. Everything is being recorded and everything will be uploaded to YouTube. I do ask though, if you're watching these, so if you're watching this right now and it is not live, you need to email me and let me know that you've watched it. So everybody that is here right now that I can see, I have record of all of you logging into the call today. So I have gotten everybody. The only thing is I'm looking right now real quick. I don't see anybody that called in, but if you called in on a phone number, I do need you to email me, just because I can't match up the phone number to who you are. But again, if you are not watching this live, make sure you email me so you get credit for watching the webinar. Okay, site visit. So this is probably the requirement that has changed the most since the last recertification that you did in 2019. In 2019, I came out and visited with everyone, which was really great. And I really enjoy coming and seeing everybody. Unfortunately, during 2020, that really wasn't possible. And in 2021, we're just starting to get back. You don't necessarily need me going to all the different organizations and then coming to visit yours. So we are doing everything virtually. And by a virtual site visit, what I'm really looking for is a short video that showcases your sustainability. So, and I'm going to leave that pretty open to how you want to interpret it. If you want to show me every single thing that you're doing for sustainability, great. But if there's one thing that you're really passionate about, go ahead and do a video just on that one item. That's fine. That is, I'd like to see the enthusiasm with it and see what you're most excited about. So I'll leave it up to you to kind of decide what you want your video to be. And then I will say, I know some of our organizations can't shoot video within their facility, and that's totally fine. Still pictures will work. Best way to do it is still pictures within a PowerPoint so that you can actually write what the pictures are about and then just send me a PDF. So that is no problem too if you can't shoot video. And I'm going to take a second. I actually want to show you, this is a video that came in last year from the Elections Commission, and it was done really well. So I wanted to kind of show you what they did. I will say the volume on it is a little soft to hear them speak. So if you can't hear it, don't worry. It's going to be posted on YouTube so you can go and watch and hear what they say. Let me get started.
One of the other ways that our office recycles is by using old yard signs. We use the metal pieces out of those to go into our signs, or we turn those old yard signs into signs that we're able to use.
Awesome. So on that video, I'm not sure if you can hear it really well, but she kind of goes through and talks about each individual item, and she has a lot of enthusiasm about what they're doing, which is really fantastic. So if you weren't able to completely hear it, please check it out. I'll send the link onto it for YouTube. But it gives you a really good idea of what you can do for your video. Also, if you're worried about how to get the video to me, we can do it through a Google Doc or Dropbox. She did that through TikTok and just sent it to me on my cell phone. So there's lots of different ways. So don't worry, just let me know. I can walk you through the steps on getting the video to me. Next one is the optional points spreadsheet. So this will be sent to you as well. I think I sent it out with all the recertification requirements, but don't worry, I'll send it again with all the materials for the meeting. Everybody should have seen this by now. It's been out for a couple of years now. This is a very easy document to use. Everything is locked except for the points earned cell. That is the only place that you can enter points into. And you just go down and go through each individual item, and it's a yes or no. Am I doing this? Yes, then I get the points. And it breaks down. Some of them you get partial points for doing certain items, and it kind of talks about that. But if you have any questions on, hey, do I get points for this? Or I'm not sure I'm doing this correctly. Do I get the points? Just let me know. Give me a call or send me an email. I'm happy to go through it line by line and let you know, hey, you get this many points for doing this. And I have multiple organizations that reach out during recertification, and we go through the entire thing. So please let me know if you have questions. At the very end, after you've entered all of your points in, it calculates what level you are at. So if you want to send me the Excel spreadsheet back, that's great, because then I can see everything. If you turn this into a PDF document, make sure that all of the cells are included in the document and that last section so that I can see what level you got to. Because that helps me. I need to go through each individual one and just verify your points and the calculations. So just make sure I have all of that. Also, if you can't open an Excel document, I have this in PDF form, so just let me know. I can send that to you if you can't open the Excel document. Okay, so that is everything that I have on the 2021 recertification. So I'm going to open it up now. Feel free to unmute yourself, or there is a chat box as well. So please let me know if you have any questions that I can answer on the recertification requirements. Anybody? All right, you guys? Okay, I'm not seeing any, but there'll be another chance at the end to ask questions, and I'm always available, email, phone call. Y'all know how to get me, so don't worry. All right, that said, I'm going to turn the time over to Rose Melton, who's going to discuss the Green Certification Board and give you guys some background on it.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending today. My name is Rose Melton. I'm currently serving as the Montgomery County Green Certification Board Chair. You are attending today one of the important steps to get your businesses green certified, so we really do appreciate your time this morning. You're going to get to have an opportunity at the end to ask any questions, along with certifying your businesses. Once you become certified, there are always opportunities to join the board if this is something you have a passion about. So keep that in mind once your businesses are certified. We're always looking for folks to serve. So let's get started on to the next slide. Just to kind of give you a little background of what the board, how it was formed, when it was formed, and what the board does on the behalf of all the businesses. It was originally back in 2011, the Green Certification Program. They met quarterly with an advisory committee. That committee made goal recommendations. Really, at that time, there was no attendance requirements. And really, the term lengths of the board positions were not enforced. There was no official city or county representation on the board. So as that board was formed and they went through a couple of years, in 2018, it was apparent it was important that we make the advisory committee into what was called an official board. And as you can see here, the program bylaws were formed and signed in March of 2019. Those were approved by the bi-county, city, and county mayors. So what is the board's role now? We still approve and oversee the program's annual goals. We also approve the annual banquet theme and the plans that go into making that banquet happen. We select the annual award winners. That could be from newly certified or recertified businesses. And we do represent the program at community events. When your businesses are newly certified, as you know, we do ribbon cuttings. And we want to give those businesses the visibility in the community newsletter, on the website, to just showcase the businesses becoming one of the new green certified businesses. And as you can see, the program is managed by the bi-county. The board positions that are represented are across the industries as you see listed here. Bi-county, the city, county, Montgomery County School System, Austin P, one industry business, and one retail business like what I am in. I'm with a financial. So those are the breakdowns of the board positions that serve on the current board of directors. So the board details themselves. We have 13 members. We have that one odd number, so in the event of a tie, you have a tie break. Meetings are held first Wednesday of every month. The term is usually 3 years, with an option to serve an additional 2. And the board is set up with a chair and a co-chair. So how does it work? The bi-county director or the assistant director are permanent members. They don't go through you saw that the terms were every 3 with an option for 2 to renew. These members are permanent members. The program manager is a permanent member. There'll be 1 city rep, 1 county rep. Those are appointed by the city and county mayor, and 1 school system representative, which is appointed by our school systems director. 1 Chamber of Commerce representative, 1 Austin P representative. That person is appointed by the director of the physical plant. The reason that's important is because they have a sustainability program, and we want someone associated at Austin P that also works with the initiatives that are on campus. There are 3 industry representatives. Those are selected by the board. And then 3 business representatives, also selected by the board. So who are our current members? By county, as you know, Mark Neblett, our new landfill director, Mark Neblett, or Mary Anderson, one of the 2, try to attend the meetings. Our program manager, who's Carly Summers, our great host for today's webinar. Thank you, Carly. Montgomery County, Doug Jones. City of Clarksville, Bill Harpel. Our school system representative, Jean Fish. Olivia Heron is representing Austin P. And then our Chamber of Commerce is Melinda Shepard. Current members from the industries is Chad Crocker from Bridgestone, Martha McDowell Train, and Danny Melton from Red Knight Distribution. Myself from Altra Federal Credit Union for our business rep, Steve Springer, Stone Rudolph and Henry, and Jessica Lieberstein from First Choice Moving. So as you can see, we have a really good mix of industry and businesses represented. So becoming a board member, how do you do that? That is open to any individual that is currently representing a green certified organization, must be willing and able to attend board meetings. Those right now are held every other month. So as you can see, the time investment, minimal time investment, but what you learn and what you gain from being a representative on this board is just invaluable. If you're interested, reach out to Carly. She places you on the waiting list for when that industry or that business rep role opens up with a position open. And there is currently 1 business and 1 industry organization on the waiting list. So, you know, if there's anything that you hear today, or if you have any questions for myself or Carly, please reach out, because we're always looking for, you know, new, fresh perspectives to represent the board.
Thank you, Rose. I appreciate you taking the time to go through that. I know the board, you only get to see them during the annual banquet, but they're involved every other month. They oversee the goals of the program, and Rose has been a fantastic chairperson. She runs the meetings, and so it's been great to work with her. But if you have any interest in serving on the board, please let me know. Like I said, it's a waiting list, and as soon as the spot comes open, which the spots roll off on December 31st. So the terms always start January 1st. So if you're interested in serving, it would be for the next year. So 2022, whenever we have someone roll off. So please let me know if you're interested in that opportunity. And we think we have a pretty fun group, right, Rose? We have a good time too. So
The only other thing I
Awesome.
wanted to highlight is a couple of years ago, Carly really did an awesome job on our new logo. If you've not seen that logo, it really represents what the board does about recycling, reusing, and reducing waste. So take a chance to look at the website. And then you also, when you get certified, you get a plaque and you get a vinyl logo for your door. So you are represented when you have folks visit you. They're going to know that you're a certified business, which we wear that proudly.
Absolutely. It is a great logo. And that is really the first thing when I started in the green certification program that the board really helped with, was getting that new logo in place, that and the levels, the different levels for certification. So the board has been very instrumental in getting that in place. So thanks, Rose. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for going through that and talking about all the great stuff we're doing there. So thank you. I'm going to go ahead and move into our UPCYCLE challenge. This is our fun challenge or competition that we do each year. So this started in 2018. We actually started with an UPCYCLE challenge. And then in 2020, we actually decided, hey, you know, we need a trophy so that we can give this out to people. So when they win, they have something that they get. So just to refresh your minds on what exactly this challenge is, this is something that we hold every year. It's announced in the fall. So if we don't announce it at the banquet, it's usually in the next month's newsletter what our theme is going to be. And then you have the entire year to work on your challenge entry, and it is due right before the banquet, and then we announce at the banquet who the winner is. It's open to anybody that's green certified, so you can have employees and families work on the UPCYCLE challenge just as long as when the entry comes in, it is under the green certified organization's name. So as long as the organization is the one that's actually making the submittal, that's fine. And then any materials that you use on the UPCYCLE challenge, they have to be recycled, repurposed, or reused. The only thing that can be purchased new is your binding material. So that is glue, string, tape, and really it has to be used in a way that it's just holding those items that are recycled, reused, or repurposed together. Everything that's the actual creation must be recycled. And then last, the winners will be announced at the banquet. It is a surprise when we announce it, and we want it to be that way. So it's a big celebration. Last year, so I mentioned last year we wanted to do a trophy, and the actual theme was Design the Trophy, which Doug Jones at the county actually came up with last year's theme. He had seen that done before and he thought it was so cool. And so that's what we did. Train was our winner last year, and Train put together this fantastic trophy that is made from gears and different materials that came off of the assembly line. So Train, as you know, they make HVAC systems. And so these are all different items that they had taken from the floor, and they actually assembled this together to create this trophy. They actually put the logo for the Green Certification Program in the top. So this won the trophy UPCYCLE challenge, and it isn't shown in this picture, but now there is actually on this front plate, the front flat plate, there is actually engraved Train 2020 UPCYCLE challenge winner. So each year we will add a new name to that. They were the first ones, so they're at the top, and the next name will go underneath, and we'll be able to continue to add our winners each year. So details for 2021, our theme is green garden decor. So this, again, we're gonna let you be creative on this. It just has to be something you would expect to find in a garden. So whatever you make, it has to be something that traditionally we would expect to be in a garden. We don't want to see, you know, like a blender or something like that. It needs to be something that you would usually see in a garden. But other than that, get creative. You can do anything that you'd like as long as it fits within the theme, but it does need to be mobile. That's the other thing. So these are going to need to be transported to Veterans Plaza in September. So you'll need to be able to get it there and then get it back. So it does need to move so the judges can judge it. And then if you're interested, like I said, Train used the green certification logo last year. You're more than welcome to include that in. You don't have to, but if you'd like to and you need the files for the logo, just let me know. I'm happy to get those to you. So judging, the judging is going to be done by the Green Certification Board. Hopefully when we're able to have an in-person banquet again, we might be able to expand the judging and have a chance for all of the organizations to view each other's work. But unfortunately, with it being virtual, we're going to have the Green Certification Board do the judging. So that'll be a closed door judging at Veterans Plaza in September. We do need, because I need to know how much space that we need for all of our entries. I do need to have the entry form back by September 21st. That's 1 week prior to the banquet. And I will send that out. I'll attach that to the materials that I send out today. Basically, it just says I need to know your name, the organization, and then some details on your entry. And really, I'm not going to hold you to it too much. I just want to know how many I'm going to have in the room just to make sure I can fit them all in there. And then we will judge the Friday before the banquet, and no one will be notified until live at the banquet. So we'll make the announcement live during the banquet. All right, so I'm gonna open it up. Again, this is such a talkative group here, you guys. Does anybody have any questions on the UPCYCLE challenge? Hey, guys. All right, move on. Again, I'm always here. If you need anything, just let me know. The one thing I will say is make sure if you're creating something for the UPCYCLE challenge, if you have any doubt at all if something is going to be allowed, please ask me beforehand, because once it's on there, you can't take it off. And if we decide no, that wasn't recycled, reused, or repurposed, you'll be disqualified. So please ask beforehand if there's any question on anything. All right, we're doing great on time, everybody. I'll get you out of here early. We have 2 more webinars coming up, so make sure everybody that's here has the appointment for the next ones because I automatically signed you up for all of them. So just a reminder, there's one next Tuesday, the 18th, and then there's one the following Tuesday, the 25th. It'll be the same format, exactly like today. We'll have some information, we'll have some speakers, and hopefully we will wrap up a couple minutes early for everybody too. And that is everything that I have for today. My email, my phone number, the website, everything is there. So if you have questions, please let me know. I will get all of the materials for today along with the recording out. It takes about a day for the recording to render. So I'll get everything out to you tomorrow. And then I'll send you a reminder too before Tuesday next week of the second one. Another thing I'm just going to throw in here for anybody that is not watching this live, please remember to email me so I have confirmation that you have completed the webinar series. And that's it for everybody. So please let me know if you have questions. Otherwise, I will see you back here in 1 week. Thanks, you guys. Have a good rest of your day.